the real reason you can't give up. Oh yeah, it's cliche, but we're gonna really go in on this one though. Just real quick. You want to know the real reason you can't give up? Because if you do, it's not only gonna get worse, but there will be storylines, there will be narratives for you. You didn't even start them. And you want to know what's even worse? They may be validated. Even if it ain't exactly true, they can't wait, yo, to have stories to use later. Later. After. What's coming next is up to you. This is the real reason you can't give up. And you're hearing it from the trust me, when we understand depression. Trust me when we understand struggle. Trust me when we understand unsatisfaction. Let's pronounce that right. Trust me when we understand unhappiness and confusion. But it's about later. What you're going through. You know, people may be there, they may be there to give you an ear to listen in and stuff, but you gotta be careful telling people what you're going through. In details and being all specific, and because it's about later. You don't want to be in a position where you got others dictating stories about where you're at. And why isn't it you who's dictating why you're where you're at? There's a position for you, and this is what this is about. It's about positioning. It's about adjusting. You need to dictate where you're going to be, not someone else. And that's why you can't give up. Because if you give up, then it's someone else's story. And that's the real truth, and that's true. If you give up, it's someone else's story. And that's the bottom line. That's what it all comes down to. It's frustrating. It takes patience. It takes discipline. But this is the real reason you can't give up. And why over time it will be much better going through the pain alone. This is what will happen when you choose to make it through on your own. It's much more satisfying and peaceful in the end. It's much more clear. It's not a bunch of he say, she say. It's not a bunch of attachments and accumulations that make things look a certain way. Because you don't want that. You don't want to be in a helpless position where things around you are making things look a certain way because you couldn't dictate your actions. Authenticity is being taken. Positions are being replaced. You don't want to be replaced. You don't want to be replaced. But especially by something that don't even deserve the spot that was for you. But it's up to you. It ain't gonna look the way you want it to look. Man, even when it comes down to things like this, I'll finish up, before I upload, I may rewatch and I'll be like, man, I don't even like this. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man?
Regular work, man.
All right, man. You take care.
Good work, man.